Hello and welcome back to the Empty Podcast. I'm Anthony Corby, and today I will be discussing my inspiration for the book as well as addressing the story behind the story. So, a bit of administrative stuff, as my sociology professor likes to say, before I actually get into the inspiration part of this podcast. It may seem like I'm recording this using my phone or something. I know the audio probably doesn't sound that good, but I'm actually not. It's just a microphone is really low on volume. I'm probably doing something wrong. I just don't know what it is. But I am not just giving minimal effort. I'm actually trying to make these good. It's just the equipment I use, I guess, isn't good, but it is supposed to be professional equipment at least. So I apologize for that. I also apologize for the fact that these probably don't sound that good, these podcasts, because, I'm not good at speaking uninterrupted for long periods of time. So, yeah. I on my YouTube channel, I'm used to jump cuts and stuff, so I can easily lose my train of thought like I tend to do and just pick up wherever I left off or wherever I think I left off. It's a lot easier for me to do jump cuts and to speak uninterrupted, but I'm trying. I'm giving it my all. Anyway, touring dates should be announced if I'm doing a tour. If there winds up being a tour, the dates and locations should be announced within the next week or two. If I'm not doing a tour and if it's been 2 weeks and there are no updates on my Instagram, which is at empty by Corby, then I probably won't be doing a tour. But there should be dates within the next 1 to 2 weeks if there will be a tour. But anyway, the book will be released December 1st, probably sometime in the morning, I'm hoping for. It's a weird process. It might go up a little bit before December 1st. I wouldn't expect it to be up on November 29th, but it might go up maybe sometime in the afternoon or evening on November 30th. Again, not sure. The process is really weird, but yeah, hoping for December 1st. That would be very good. Anyway, that's pretty much it for administrative stuff. So I'm going to be talking about the inspiration for the book today. This will probably be a shorter podcast. I'm going to try to keep it shorter because I want it to be more general. I don't want to give away too much information about the two people that were the inspiration for the book. I was basically close friends with two people, or starting to become close friends with two people. One of the people was becoming my friend before I'd met the other one, the character D. Not a character, but the person D, who I mentioned in the dedication. I mentioned both of them in the dedication, but I don't actually say their names. It's just the first letter of their name. So I made close friends with D. We both went to Wawa a bit. I didn't have much against him. He wasn't really like my best friend. I wouldn't say that, but we were starting to become pretty good friends. And then I meet another person, A, and D and A were friends before I was friends with both of them. And again, I'm not going to get too much into detail. Whenever I would talk to or about A, D would continuously try to make everything a lot more dramatic than it was. And me being me, I wasn't into all that drama stuff. That's high school-esque. I was never into that even in high school, so I kind of just took a step back. But even when I tried that, they kept trying to suck me back into all this situation, and I just tried to keep finding ways out, but I kept getting sucked back into the situation. And the more that they talked to me, I found out later, the more they were being dishonest. So I got angry at the situation, but again, basically, A, got more angry at the fact that I was angry at the situation, and decided it was they decided it was all right to come into my room and start screaming at me. And this was basically the main inspiration that got the first chapter started. I don't remember the day that this happened. October 7th, maybe? But October 1st, there's a reason this book's being released December 1st, because on October 1st, that was when it was in the middle of the situation, and that was before I started trying to back out, and I was really involved in it, and I was not in a good spot then, to say the least. So how funny would it be 2 months later to release a book about the whole situation? And since that date, I've realized that there are a lot of things that are bigger than this situation. Um, so I'm writing the book as like a starting point, but there were a few other things that I kind of realized in October, because I had a really good October. Um, I'm a Tampa Bay Rays fan. I got to see them win 2 playoff games, which is a lot to me. I also got to see my favorite soccer team, the Philadelphia Union, win a home playoff game after being down 3-1 at the half. I got to see my favorite band play my favorite song, and I got to sit third row for it. And they played my favorite song as the encore, so that was the last song that I heard, which was really cool. That's my favorite song by any band of all time, and I'm not just saying that because I've heard it live. I really like the song. It's called At Wit's End by Dream Theater. And that was another kind of inspiration for the book, was Dream Theater and their music. A lot of the themes that the most recent album, Distance Over Time, related to were, Barstool Warrior related to domestic violence a bit, At Wit's End more related to rape, but it also kind of related to violence a bit. And I kind of drew inspiration from both of those songs. The first quote, there's a quote, it's like the first page of the book, and it's from Barstool Warrior, written by John Petrucci. No one can save you, and there's no one to save. And that kind of is just symbolic of the whole, both this situation and the situation in the book, where no one's going to save Nick, and he can't really save anybody in this situation because, he can't talk to Laurel. So he's basically just got to give up on everything if he wants to be happy, and that's kind of a theme of the book. Whether he does or doesn't give up is up to your interpretation, knowing what you know so far, but I don't want to give away too much, and I don't think I did. No. Considering the ending, I didn't give away really anything there, but it kind of connects the two of them, that quote. And the reason that the book is called Empty, actually, is because in Barstool Warrior, there's a lyric, it's promises made, crying in vain, all empty, meaning the character is empty from, all the years wasted, which is another lyric. I forget what the exact lyric was, but it was something about years being wasted. And that's kind of just my inspiration for calling it Empty. I like these shorter names for books, if you can't tell. I mean, All In, Empty. My old roommate, I actually don't have a roommate right now, but my roommate and I didn't really get along, but he said, we're still friends, and he said before he switched rooms, that when I told him I was thinking about writing another book, and he said, what's this one going to be full? And I just kind of found that funny because, that makes sense. I don't know why I found that so funny, but I don't know. I did. But anyway, back to the situation. After this whole thing where A came into my room and started yelling at me, I basically banned them from the room, which my roommate wasn't happy about. I originally said I didn't want any of A or D or their friends in the room, and that was kind of not cool of me, but I basically just banned A from the room. And that's not why my roommate moved out. My roommate and I just disagreed about a lot of stuff. He wanted to go to bed a lot later than I did, etc. Again, that's kind of more private. I'm not going to give away too much about that either. But what's funny about all this is that as of the time I'm recording this, and probably as of the time this is being released, and probably as of the time the book is being released, D and A are angry at each other. And it's hilarious because D probably agreed with me about A the entire time, but never admitted it. And I still tried to be friends with D because I feel like A kind of uh, severed that friendship, but I found that he's the same person. Um, he basically sacrificed at least me as a friend to have this person as a friend, and it backfired on him. Poor guy. No sympathy. Sorry, but um, it's not going to prevent me from releasing this book, and it's not going to prevent me from not liking him as a person. Him. Shoot. I think I've given away both of their genders in this whole podcast, but anyway, I know I said this was going to be shorter. It's not, but this isn't a vengeance book. There's some of the events have certainly been inspired by other events that have happened, especially in chapter 2, but nothing is really exact. It's just similar themes. So anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for tuning into the Empty Podcast. I'm Anthony Corby, and I hope to see you all next Wednesday. Take care.